Did you ever open Path of Building and you were thinking,
Huh?
then this guide is for you. So first of all, how do we find Path of Building? Path of Building, you go onto the website pathofbuilding.community or just easy Google Path of Building in Google and you find it directly first. So then Path of Building has two different versions. Depends on which of Path of Exile you play. So click on the right button for here on the right side Path of Exile 1, or when you play Path of Exile 2, you download this version. Overall, they explain also on their homepage quickly what Path of Building is about. Plan out your skill tree. You can check the gems you would need, which benefits most, and also looking into gear, and you can also craft gear there too. So just download then your version and install it, and then you can open it. So overall, check for updates. Normally there's also a message when there's an update, but when you download, you already have the latest version. This here would be then empty for you, and you can create folders, which is kind of like this. As an example, I put in my builds like hardcore builds, I put that in that folder, and when you click, you find there the hardcore build as an example, but that is not necessary. You just click then on new, and then you can, as an example, import a build. This can be from your own character, so you just need to connect it with your Path of Exile. Here's the Path of Exile 2 account. See which league you are in. So as an example, I want to be at Fate of the Wall. Then I have here my characters, right? So I want to import this one. And then I can say passive tree and javels. Delete javels mean all javels I have currently in that build, which are none because it's a new one, will be deleted, and the existings on my character will be imported. Items and skills, same, delete the skills, equipment if I have already something imported. And ignore the weapon swap when I have something in which I don't want to. I click on this one. But we just do it like this. So we have imported passive tree already imported, and then our items and skills too. And that's it, right? So now I have my character imported with the state how it is at the moment. So on the tree, you find the passive tree of my character. Here in the upper side is then the ascendancy. Then we have a skill, where every skill is here, which I use, items which I use. But when I want to import not my character, but as an example, you saw a YouTube guide and you really liked the guide, you can just import that link here. So you just need to put it in. So then we can also, as an example, go to Pure Ninja and click on builds, go into the league we are playing, let's say Fate of the Wall. We want to play a blood mage, so we click on this and we want to use comment, right? So here's our main skills. So in this list, you find then every character who uses that skill. Let's see, let's click on this one and you say, yeah, that is something I want to play, that looks interesting. I want to have it in my Path of Building. So here's the code for Path of Building. You just can click on it, copy it, and then we put it in here. So, and say import. So now our character we imported is deleted, and we have that blood mage we found in there. So same as the tree, the skills, and the item he is using at the moment. So now let's go into, we imported, know how to import it. now going into a bit more in detail about tree, skills, and items. So the tree is easier to understand, right? So here you see the passive skill trees, passive points we have, right? In total, then the red one is our weapon 1, and the weapon 2 passive points are green. Here, just the level, right? So when I put it down, then I have also less skill points. If we want to switch a class, here are the classes. Blood Mage, right? That's the ascendancies we have. And then we can also have that as a new loadout, means that you can have later on here, this is a different loadout. So when you have a guide who says, okay, there's a leveling guide, you click on here, and then you have different trees. So that is kind of like here you save it also. So at the moment we are on default, which is fine. So let's say that is our character now, and we want to see maybe how something else will affect our tree when we skill it, right? So we have an example here that is now on our weapon set 1 skilled, right? Because it's the red one. You just can click on it with a left click and it's gone. When I want it again, I just click here again and you see allocating weapon set 1 mode is active. So we can just put it in, right? And then see, okay, that gives me now when I deskill it, unlocating, that is the red one. Numbers means that I lose when I delocate it. Same as when I want to skill something. Let's say we are on a normal path, so we click 2, and then we are again on the normal one. When I just want to go here, then it says, okay, allocating this node will give me effective hit pool, cold max, resistance, right? And also this node and all other leading nodes to it gives me also this completely. So it says just in one node, and when I use the whole way, then it gives me also the complete numbers to that. But that is kind of like the skill tree, right? We have also our javelins in here, and it shows you also the range which the javelins have. And yeah, you find always the ascendancies around your that real big area here, so depends on which class you're playing. And there you also see the same when you have like disallocating or allocating it, so it gives you less effective hit pool and so on and so on. But then what does it mean, right, with, as an example, effective hit pool? So we have here also on the left our skills, right? So not just the skills, but also our life cost, mana cost, how much attributes we have, effective hit pool, and then it's the effective hit pool is in terms of physical max hit we can take, fire max hit, cold max hit, lightning, chaos max hit, right? And that in total gives us an average of that hit pool. Means that we have a 10.9 here effective hit pool. So that is kind of like the damage needs to come in an average to kill us. The higher the hit pool, the more your defenses are good, and the lower the chance is to kill you. Then yeah, we have a total life that is just increased percentage. We have 11% life leech on hit rate, so we have 44 life leech. That is the blood mage, right? So total mana. Then we also from the trees 13% increased mana, and our mana rack, spirit, evasion rating, armor, right? And then resistance to that. So here, as an example, this player has 46% above the 75 max resistance. So that is kind of like how it displayed here. Movement speed modifiers and skill movement speed. And your presence aura, which is like 8 meters here. But it shows you also the damage, right? And that become 2 skill points. That's the next tree. So here we have a lot of different skills. So as an example, first wall, let's click on that, is running with life tap, efficiency 2, concentrate area, spell cascade, and second wind 3. So what is when I want to switch out life tap with something else, or efficiency, right? So I just can look into the list and scroll, but it's easier also to just say, okay, let's do just cast speed, right? So I put cast in. So here's cast rapid casting, and let's say rapid casting 2 we put in. And then we have here first wall, and I can see what that changes, right? That is on my left. So as an example, I put the life tab in again. You see the numbers change here, right? So accordingly to that. Then we have that all skill, like the first one is always the main skill, and then you have the support skills here. Enable, just, when you don't use it, you can disable it, of course. And then we have it also included full DPS. So when that is my DPS, I put it in. Then we have also our full DPS calculated. It starts here, right? So comment is also, so then it says, okay, Spark does this damage, Comet does this damage, Living Bomb, right? So he calculates everything, and the full DPS he gives you then in total. So that's kind of like the skills. Then we have also skills like this, which is coming from our weapon. So that is weapon slot 1 or pinnacle power, right? It also says where it comes from here. And that can be also then, as an example, here. You see it here. So this is just like when you have that weapon here, it just says that it's a source. The ciphering one, we have that unique one, gives us that skill, and that is the skill here as an example where you can also put some sockets in when it's possible. Then there's also levels, right? So when we go back to, let's say, Comet, this is level 21, that's level 20. So here you can put also the levels to your active skills, right? So support gems have just level 1, but our active skills can be up to 21. So then you can just change it, because then also, as you can see here, our DPS changes also with that. Quality is the same way, so if you have like quality on it, you just can put it on, but the same with the support gems, right? So active skills can have quality, and also here the enable function, so when you just don't want one support gem out of it, you can do that same. Then there's also, as an example, let's do it with a comment. When we cast 2 comments at the same time with 1 cast, we need to put the count also up. That is extremely important when you do, as an example, an eye shot build, right? And you have, as ranger, already skilled additional arrow in your ascendancy. You can't forget that you also need to count this one and put it in. As an example, eye shot also does like 3, maybe. Then we put like 3 and a count just to have the accurate DPS here. But that is kind of like the skills. So every damage skill you use, you just include it in your full DPS, so you directly know in the end what is your current full DPS. Then we have also our items. So as an example, we have here a lot of uniques, right? And then the rares. If you want to create a different unique, or like a different version of this unique, you can find it here. So you just search, let's say the first one, the weapon, Dunia. So I just give it in and I have it. And then we do a double click on it, and it's on the right side. So now it's the time where we can switch here which level as an example, right? And here how much maximum mana we get, increase the cast speed, so that changes, and that is just one, so that doesn't change, right? Then we can also say, okay, we want to corrupt it. Okay, what enchant do we get when we corrupt it? And then we get this, all the options which can be on that wand. So as example, cast speed sounds nice, and we get already with that character 7000 DPS, which is 4.6 of our current DPS to it. So yeah, I would say I want to corrupt it and click on this, and it directly starts here. Then we can also edit everything, which is kind of like a text field, where you can also put sockets in and everything, but you can easier put sockets in here. You just click on 1 or 2, say 2, because we corrupted it and we get 2 sockets as an example, and then you can just search here, or you just click once in and say, as an example, spell, right? And then okay, critical hit for spell damage, whatever you want. You click on it and it's directly in it, will be calculated. Or like extra, and here we have like extra cold damage, so we put that runes in. And when we also click now on edit, you see also here he changed it in text form, so sockets is here and 2s, which means then that is for the sockets, and the rune, which rune is in there. So when we want to craft a rare, then we just click on craft item and say, yeah, rarity is in rare, and we want to have, we can also write body armor as an example with just energy shield. And then we have still different bases, right? So let's use this base, create. Okay, so now normally we don't have a 4 socket, so let's stick with 2. Then we have 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes, and then we can just choose from it, like maximum energy shield, and then you can roll it in terms of tier, right? So how high should it be? And then also, I think some increase energy shield, same way. We say this, and then we get also, okay, when we would replacing now the temporalis skill group, we get average hit, 20% crit chance, effective crit chance, right? So that is all in there, same as like total life, fire resistance goes away, cold resistance goes away, because we don't have resistance, right, on it. So it really depends on what you're crafting, and then you see kind of like what you get. So let's say we just put now a fire and a bit cold resistance. This is fine. Fastest start of energy shield, that is from the base. Say okay. Add to build, right? So we just put that now in there. So that is our new rope. So now we have that yellow chest, right, which we created, but when we find maybe something in the shop and we don't know if it's maybe better or not, how can we see that? So we go into the game and go into marketplace, and let's search for body armor. I mean, it doesn't matter now. Just requirements, let's say, yeah, at least 600 energy shield, right? And we want to have cold resistance, because that is really important to us, with 40. So let's say this is the one we want, so we just click on copy item, and then we go back to our path of building and just copy paste it in. So we push controller and V, and it's directly in there. So we see also directly the runes which are socketed in at the moment. So if I want to change that, I can change it too. And now I see, okay, I get more cold resistance, but less fire resistance, right? As the new item we just created. So here's always standing which item you replace with that. So then I can also put our temporalis in and put it again. So then it changes again, right? You just need to paste it in again. And it changes, now it's temporalis in here. So this is how you also can see, as an example, is a weapon maybe better as mine, right? Because you just go into the game, see a weapon, and then you are unsure about, is it maybe better or not? Do I get better DPS because it has like 5 cast speed more, but maybe a bit less extra damage on fire? You can see that if you just copy it and put it in with your own character, you import it, and you just can look into, is that staff or the wand or anything else, like which weapon is better for my character at that point with the skills I have in. So now we come to that button, which is a bit different, which is the calculations one. So here we can open all our skills we have in our skill tree here. So let's say we do the cast on critical one, right? So active skill is a comet, and that is the effective DPS. So we find everything about it in here. So is it attack cast speed rate, cast times, crit chance, crit multiplier, right? Life leech, mana or life cost, life per second, like everything you can like need, you find here. So also with the presence radius, right? You see it also as a image here on the right. So you find that too. And then we have like the not. So that is the comment one, and that is the general one, which attributes the life. Okay, base from gear, inclusive from tree, total base, right? Mana, how much from gear, how much from tree. Same with spirit, energy shield, armor, evasion, and so on. So down here, when you scroll down, there's also the defenses, flask, everything is calculated. Deflection rate, when you play as an example with evasion rate and deflection, right? Stun duration, how high is the chance to evade the stun. And here's also like the threshold and how it calculated when you go with a mouse over it. And you can just also click here on the plus, so it opened everything else, like ignite effect, chill effect, right? All the defenses are here. Same as here, that is also the defenses. So enemy damage is this. So physical from lightning, how much do I take it? And that is the calculation for our effective health, so like effective hit pool. So here you can see how everything comes together. Some like build guides also have like notes in it. So when you click on notes, so here's like a notepad, you can write stuff in there. Some don't have like a written guide, so sometimes you find a small written guide in here, or there's like some notes in if you have problems with mana, this is what you need to do. Something like this can be also there. And then we also have the configuration button, which you can also, as an example, do different configuration sets with it. So you just manage and create a new one. And then it's kind of like self-explanatory. So as an example, like elemental resistance penalty, right? So we are in endgame, or are we in Act 6, 5, 4, whatever we are we always on full life, on low mana, right? So you, when yes, just click it. It's kind of like an answer, like question and answer sheet, where you just put everything in, like, do I have power charges? Yes. Or endurance charges? Yeah, I have endurance charges. And how many do you have, like, if not maximum, right? And are we sprinting? Are we have onslaught? Something like this. So you go into everything here. Same with these enemy stats. that I would always put on Guardian Pinnacle boss, but that can be also standard boss or Uber Pinnacle. That is just like how much evasion, armor, and everything they have, and how much damage they do, because then you also know your damage and also how much they hit you. So normally it's as a standard, it's Guardian Pinnacle boss, and that is a way to go when you want to have everything calculated. Also with the quest rewards here, right? So what did you choose? So also when you have a build guide, you can go into here and you see, okay, what do they choose from? Is it cold resistance, or is it maybe intelligence from Hall of the Dead? So you directly know what to pick for your quest rewards when it's not written in the build guide and maybe saved here. There's also custom modifiers, which you can write down as an example when you have something on your item and it doesn't help or doesn't give you anything in the Path of Building. You can do that. As an example, there's like Waste Vectors, which gives you something as an buff, so you can put it in. Just write the exact written down how it is in the skill, and then it will be directly added to your build here. So that is kind of like everything explained in terms of what you can do. Always don't forget to save this when you want to, obviously, to save it. You just can name it as, I don't know, like test character or however you want to. Just save it, and when you go back, you have it directly here. So it's just ordered alphabetically and not like league-wise or anything. So what you can do is, for example, also do folders with, okay, now it's Val League, so I put my builds in here. What I always do is, as an example, one which is me. So I create one and just import it from my Path of Exile, right? So I import this. So I have this. And that is my character, which I just help. Okay, my items, as an example, with that body armor we found, right? It's still there. Copy paste. So is that a good body armor for me or not? So that I can just do, and I just save it as like me, or however you want to call it. And then I have like a new build, which is the one I'm like the player I follow or the build guide I follow, and I create an extra one, which is then just a new one just for the build. So you can also open two windows. Then you just click again of Path of Building on your file Excel, and it directly opens again. So you can also have like two windows side by side to just compare. So that is also possible. But yeah, that is kind of like Path of Building, and you can really use it for everything you want to, in terms of planning your build, planning just looking into items, if they help you or not, in terms of damage or resistant, defensive, or yeah, just looking around and see if maybe also a gem helps you better to get more damage or more support you need. I will also put a link where you find this Path of Building, where you can download it in the links below on my video. So you directly can click on it and find it the easiest way. And if you have questions, just drop in the comments a question. I'm happy to help and happy to answer all your questions you have when there's still some open questions. And I'm always also online in the evening on Europe time on Twitch. So you can also stop by, say hello, and just ask questions there. I'm really happy to help you guys. Yeah, I hope it clears a bit on what is Path of Building and how to use it. Stay sane, Exile, and have fun planning your build. Thank you for watching.